And then they'll be like, you come from LA? Like, what is that like? Like, I heard there's like whole neighborhoods of just like Asian and shit. And I'm all like, yeah, you should go there sometime. It's chill. There's like Chinese letters on a bank, and then like whatever, you know.
So there's a podcast, these young dudes over in the OC, they got something called the 949 podcast, pretty popular. Shout out to
Paul. I seen some of their clips.
Yeah, they're dope.
That's cool.
They had this one pretty interesting clip that points something out that I hardly even thought about this, because I think we're so close to it and we're so inside of it that maybe we don't really think about it. But listen to this and tell me what you think.
Okay.
Do you think Asians in SoCal have a superiority complex?
I think a lot of SoCal Asians, especially from OC and LA, feel like they're like that Asian.
Yes.
Where are they
That's
from?
crazy.
OC.
It's so true. Because I
They're-
don't
they're from
actually think
SoCal?
New Yorkers are more cultured.
No, we might feel more cultured and all that cooler, but I think that comes down to that superiority complex that we all possess within ourselves.
I feel like SoCal Asians have the highest egos.
There is a part of me, like, if I meet Asians from these other random states, right? Like, bro. You're not from Cali, bro. You just don't know. You know what I mean? But that's like our problem.
That is our problem.
No,
it is a
We
problem.
definitely have that
Right,
problem.
That's interesting.
Did you ever feel like that was you?
I don't think we have a superiority complex. I think everyone has an inferiority complex.
Well said already.
I do notice that there's a level of confidence that you gain when you feel like a majority of an area. Because you don't have to ask for permission to be a part of the community. You are the community. And I realized this when I moved to the SGV, because I grew up in a mostly Black and Latino neighborhood, and there were Asians there, but it wasn't the majority like the way the SGV is the majority. When you go into a place, and I feel this in Hawaii too, but when you go to a place and like everybody from cops, government, teachers, and every walks of life, you see hella Asians.
Yeah.
You don't question your like ability to be there. Whereas like when I go out of state, let's say you're the only Asian kid and you're a foreigner even though you're born there.
Yeah.
Or like they have to like seek out a community to feel like a sense of belonging, especially when you're young. Like I think like you're trying to find like, where do I belong and fit in, right? But then when you're older, you don't think shit like that. You're already a functional member of society. You own shit. You could own property. You could be a foreigner coming into town. If you have money, you actually are big boss, right? So it's a different mentality. But when you're like growing up, I think it messes with the level of confidence that these Asian kids have. But when you're the majority, like for example, when you're the majority, the high school you go to, the popular kids are also Asian.
Yeah.
So you might be a part of that crowd. Whereas like when you're the only Asian kid in this high school, you're probably not one of the popular ones. So just the confidence level of that, you know, and then like not being part of the dominant culture, I think that by itself is what probably comes off as arrogance for SoCal Asians and all these other folks, because there's a level of confidence that comes with comfort.
That's true. Yeah, I could see that being a thing.
I also think it might be just true in the regional element of it. Not that our Asians are a particular thing, because I think that can be the inverse on the other side of the spectrum, right? If you're the only Asian, you're the popular Asian.
Because you're the only Asian?
Yeah, if you chose to rose to that for
yeah.
any means, like you wanted to rise and be like, yeah, I'm fucking Asian, you just happen to have that personality, then you'd be that. Or if you were like, you saw that there were popular Asians because you were around a bunch of Asians, you could also have your own inferiority complex with that because you weren't the popular one. Yeah. So I think it's just more of a regional thing in that, like, for example, if you're in California, that's just California. Californians have egos. You know what I mean? I don't know if in New York, people just have egos because of the location.
People already in California already feel we're in the best state.
Yeah.
Fuck all the other states.
Yeah, we're all LA people already. I don't think it's because we're Asian. You know what I'm saying? So like,
that's what they probably mean by like SoCal Asians.
Yeah.
It's just we're just SoCal.
Yeah, I don't think it's like SoCal Asians are this over other Asians. I think if you're in SoCal, you're a SoCal person. So do that for SoCal, whatever race or whatever. You know what I mean? Because if you're in LA, you get the stigma. You know what I mean? And in New York and stuff like that, for whatever it is.
Because I can see a SoCal Mexican going, you're a Colorado Mexican? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's very true.
You know what I mean? I can see that too. So I just think it's more regional than it is ethnic. The things that made me more egotistically Asian, to be completely honest, were like there were moments that like defined that for me. For example, it's like growing up being Asian, I felt like I was less Asian than a lot of other Asians. Like maybe my cousins were learning piano, going to Chinese school or XYZ, and I didn't do those things, right? But then the second you go on like a dance TV show, and then you're the Asian group on that TV show, everybody's like, what's your Asian culture history? And like they're forcing you to be this like Asian story.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you go around and people are telling you that like you're the champion for Asians.
But you guys didn't even win though.
And you're like, you know what I mean? And suddenly you
have
champion the
responsibility
flag for it, and then you become that, or whatever, doing YouTube. And then suddenly it's like, these are the Asian YouTubers. I feel like those things turn you more like the Asian whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Versus like, just because, I don't know, it's inherent that Asians in California happen to be more egotistical. No, I think Californians are more egotistical.
Yeah, I think they're mistaken.
I think it's big city mentality.
For sure.
But also, it also depends on why you're traveling and why you're running into people from outside of your place. So let's say that, like, for me, I'm meeting other Asians of different areas through dance, right? Nobody cares whether you're Asian or how Asian you are. If you're just better at dance, you will get smoked, or you're gonna smoke this guy. There's an hierarchy based on that. Asian is second. The thing that takes first, I guess, like precedence is what you're good at. So if all you're talking about is whether or not you're more Asian or a cooler Asian, that sounds kind of silly.
Yeah.
You know, like, but what do you do? Like,
what kind of Asians are you
is that all you do? You're just Asian?
yeah.
Then it sounds like lame. Then I think everybody's lame in that pool. Like, if there's nothing you're offering in terms of like a skill, like you could be a bunch of Asians going to a science convention. Everyone's gonna look at who's the smartest, not who's the coolest Asian. It's like that.
It's their own game that they're playing in their head.
Yeah.
That they think everyone else is playing, but it's.
I think for the people that are SoCal Asian that are egotistical about it, it's for lack of having something more. It's for lack of like having a better trait than that.
But I think in general, big city assholes is a stereotype.
Yeah.
Like when you grow up in a big city, sometimes you have to be a little bit more like meaner to
stand out.
or survive, or you got to be more competitive.
And it's easy to have pride in that
Yeah.
if you don't have something else. So it's like, if I'm not good at anything, at least I'm in this city that's dope.
Right.
You just have more characters in a big city.
Because what they're saying is that like the SoCal OC Asians have more of a superiority complex versus the New York Asians, when New York Asians arguably actually have more things going. So I think it seems like they're going, why is it that LAOC have even more of a superiority complex?
Oh, they're comparing it to New York?
That's what they said. I think so. If you
They
want to
said
play
that like
that.
New York Asians tend to be more cultured.
But again, same thing. Take the Asian out. LA and New York are always saying that shit about each other.
The culture is so different too.
I never hear about Asians in LA. No, sorry, New York.
Oh.
I don't hear about.
Yeah, when we
any
do
Asians
shows in New York, they're actually very quiet and timid out there.
I've never heard any stories on them. I don't feel like I've heard.
I think LA just in general attracts more like entertainment and like look at me's and like whatever. In New York, I don't know, like you have your hood New York Asians,
But they're mainly like the Wall Street Asians. They're just like
the vest Asians.
Yeah, let me crush it in finance.
All the New York Asians I know are more proud about New York than they are about whatever Asian.
Yeah, for real.
I'll only give New York this. New York, I think, has a cool ass Chinatown, but I think our K-Town womps on them. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like the same thing. It's a regional conversation more than it is about a people.
Isn't there like a similarity with like Asians in Sydney and then Asians in Brisbane and then Asians in Melbourne? Like
There's
that's
like almost no Asians in Brisbane, so they're just whatever the hell. They're just.
They're just whatever the hell.
But even when I went to Australia first time, they told me that Asians were nicer the more like further up the coast you go.
Yeah, because it's so chill. For people
Yeah.
to go to like the Gold Coast, it's like going to Hawaii, for example. It's always warm, it's chill. There's not like a really crazy populated city. Everyone's just out and about.
So take Asian out of the picture and just think about the people, the non-Asian.
Sydney people are a little more like
Yes.
stuck up, right?
Yeah, so that's what
It's more chill as you go up towards the coast.
Yeah,
And in Sydney and Melbourne are always fighting. We're always fighting who's the best city in Australia. Perth and everything else, they don't care. No
Perth
one
doesn't
cares.
count.
Perth is a different country.
Are you
they
saying
know
Adelaide
that.
doesn't count?
Aussies know that. Perth is whatever.
What about Uluru? What about Alice Springs?
Where the
laugh.
abos are.
Oh, that's messed up. I like it. I've never been there.
But Melbourne is always, well, so far have always been rated above Sydney as like the most livable city and things like that.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
always like, fuck yeah, Melbourne, like we're better than a shitney. We call it shitney. We call them shitneys.
I
So
think it's
better than you
fun time.
shitneys, and then like Melbourne's always on top.
I think
That's
it's
how we
really
always do it.
ironic to have a SoCal Asian superiority complex because there's so much bad stuff here. I think
It's like, what are you proud of?
There's a lot of problems that like other places don't have. That like, and there's ways that their town and their daily living is so much nicer.
And yet, enduring through the problems is what gives us pride, right?
Yeah,
It's our inferiority complex that makes us more of a superiority like expression.
I actually do think there's like a lot of merit in what Joe was saying. So I grew up in Cerritos and here. They're both like pretty Asian. But what I liked about Cerritos, it was very, very diverse. So here's like 70% of almost like homogeneous Chinese, Vietnamese, whatever.
Yeah.
The Asian diversity in Cerritos was like Indian, Filipino, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and it was like really mixed.
Yeah.
But growing up and seeing that, like, okay, cool, here's a basketball team. White, black, everyone tries out. Oh shit, there's a star Asian player. And then football team. Oh, there's in that skate crew, this guy got sponsored by Vans. Oh, he's like an Asian guy. I think subconsciously in your mind, your ceiling is like so much higher. So I remember joining the Marine Corps, and in my platoon, there's only 3 Asians, and I'm one of them.
Yeah.
And I remember like, I'm like, oh shit, so we gotta represent. And I would see the other 2 Asians, and they're always like fucking like head down and shit. I'm like, yo, stop acting like that, dude. What the fuck? Because I think in their mind, like, I grew up in Oklahoma. I've already been defeated. But I'm
It's like self-limiting belief.
yeah, but for me, I'm like, I come from a place where people that look like me have fucking crushed it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
even though
yeah,
I've
yeah.
left that environment, I still have that energy.
Yeah.
Whereas this person that came up where it's probably been stepped on the whole time,
Yeah.
they don't have that. So even continued on, I'm like, dude, like, you feel a different energy from an Asian person depending on where they come from. Too.
That is
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that was how it was growing up in San Gabriel for me. Is like I thought everybody, all the coolest people were Asian.
Yeah.
And then when I went to community college and people were kind of talking to me like I was the dork, I was like, what? I'm not the dork. Like you're the fucking
Yeah.
dork.
yeah.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about a lot of New Yorkers that I talk to, they really follow the cookie cutter thing of like go to college, get a good job, like do the traditional route. And like it was so cynical, like a lot of the stuff that they would talk about. And I was like, damn, dude, like Cali Asians are like way more entrepreneurial. There's
Do you
way
feel like
more,
those people were born in New York, or they're like going to school in New York?
I think a lot of them were local, but like I said, they're so different from the other local New Yorker Asians that are like, they grew up more hood-like. So like, it's like 2 different worlds. It's like San Marino and San Gabriel here.
Yeah.
Like, so obviously, you know, they're not a monolith, but then the guys that I was talking to at like NYU and all the, you know, like the college kids, the mentality was already, I'm doing my degree, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But at least in the West Coast, even if you go to a 4-year, you still have people that are doing interesting like majors, or they might, you know, become an entrepreneur. They might do something different than the traditional banking.
That's true,
engineering,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So then I think the New Yorkers, when I was talking to them, I was like, damn, you guys are like, you really believe in the system because the system works. The job market's still great there. Like they're able to do things. Whereas on the West Coast, we have a economy for entertainment. We have a space for like tech and all these other things that they can kind of, you know.
Like you could see the matrix in these things.
Yeah, so I can see why for them it was like such a far-fetched idea to go, damn, you guys pursued YouTube. But we're like, we live in LA where people are making careers off of entertainment, so it's not that far-fetched. Yeah.
Yeah, whereas in another town, they might not even see how you could even start and where.
Yeah,
But
so
luckily now it's probably different where everyone sees it.
it's probably different now, but I remember when we were doing our college tours, I felt that the NY Asians were more like reserved. Like Texas Asians were more like lively and they yell at shows, they'll whatever. But the New Yorkers though, like I said, like the hood ones, they're like more like us. Like they're lively, they're fun, they're like outgoing, they're loud. But like all the university Asians, like they were really reserved. Like
It could also be a
could've-
university thing too.
yeah, I
how
mean,
nice
like
the
different
school,
classes too, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a different world for me. Like out here in California, you had a lot of Asians and frats, and they party, and like they're more, I don't know, I feel like there was different kinds. It wasn't just nerds, or like it wasn't just like one group. So it could be a population thing.
I think it is pretty interesting when you think of it like that, where some Asian people that are just from SoCal, when they travel and they meet somebody not from SoCal, they want to almost like piggyback on the things they know SoCal for. So if they're like, oh yeah, SoCal has all these things, and the people from SoCal are like, yeah, you know, that is our life down there, you know, like, but it's like they're not involved in any of these things, you know what I mean? Like,
You know,
I could see that happening.
That's what have you noticed that when you travel, right, and then they talk to you as if like you live in this dream Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just fucking LA. And then they'll be like, you come from LA? Like, what is that like? Like, I heard there's like whole neighborhoods of just like Asian and shit. And I'm all like, yeah, you should go there sometime. It's chill. There's like Chinese letters on a bank, and then like whatever, you know. And then,
Chinese banks.
Yeah.
But then like,
sick.
I think for them it's so mind blowing because it's like,
Yeah.
it's like access to maybe who they are. I don't know. But I never had to grow up feeling like that. But yeah, when I travel and do that, you guys do the shows, and then people talk to you as if just from being there, you're a celebrity.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Especially when you go to other countries. Like,
Yeah, you're like, you're from
crazy.
Los Angeles, and I'm like,
people can't believe it sometimes.
so are 10 million other people.
And then there's gonna be people that are gonna take advantage of that shit and be like,
I'm from LA.
see Tom Cruise all the time. I think that's what it is some people take advantage of it, some people don't really care.
Yeah, it's just a place. You could be a loser in a big city.
Most likely you're a loser.
Yeah, you're probably a big fucking
The odds are you're a
Fucking
loser.
loser.